Uma das primeiras coisas que fizemos quando chegámos a Bali foi ir visitar o Templo do Entusiasmo. Tínhamos já marcado há 2 meses esta visita com o Sr. Anthony, que é o Marketing e Eventos Manager de Deus Indonesia.
So here, this is a bike that's come in. He's actually Portuguese, so he wants to modify this bike. This is also a CRF 250 that we had modified previously. So is that one. So it's not a new bike for us. It's a bike we've done a few before. This one we just use for rally, so the tank's there. But our friend Rui has come in and said, I would like to modify it. He wants different seat, different tail end, different handlebars, different front end, different, basically dais. So what these guys do is they strip it down.
Till the bone.
Well, yeah. Well, we keep the main cage, and we keep the block. But yeah, things like this subframe is totally different to the subframe in that one there. And again, this one and this one, same bike, but you can see the subframe here and the subframe here are totally different.
Yeah.
So this one has battery box, different back end, different hoop. This one here has quite different shape and length as well.
And about the suspension, the shock are the same?
Sorry?
The suspension are the same?
The suspension?
Yes.
It depends, it changes on different bikes. On this one we will be putting we've ordered from America
Sure.
It's called a stiffening kit.
Oh.
So the CRF comes with one spring and the other one's full of fluid. We've actually got a second spring coming. So here, again, this one has fully manufactured side plates. This is going on that bike that Arwen's working on. Obviously the electrics we customise as well. A headlight is buried inside a cover. We have a paint shop up the other end. And we also make all of our own tanks. So there's some tanks that didn't quite make it, but they're all fabricated from sheet aluminium, which you'll see over here. We'll start off with that. And the guys use an English wheel, a hammer, and this big block of wood.
Yeah.
And they knock it on the wood and they stretch the aluminium and they make the tanks that way. So
They mold it there.
yeah, so this tank here is actually for this CRF here. So that's, as you can see, that's very different from the original tank. They're just...
Yeah, it's plastic, I think.
Yeah, but this is the type of tank that we will make for this bike. So this one, obviously, we received the bike yesterday, so we haven't started it. We'll change tyres, we'll change this, obviously we'll change the headlights. We will keep some things, like the instrumentation, he wants to keep it. On the other 2 versions, we've actually taken it right off. But this client would like to keep that spot. We'll make... the CRF comes with a one-side radiator. What we'll do is we'll actually get a horizontal radiator and fit it in under here, so it balances. Because once we take the plastic off, you'll see that it's got radiator on one side and no radiator on the other. So that doesn't look good. Obviously, we'll get rid of these indicators and we'll put some more interesting indicators on it. And yeah, skid plates. Again, this has got a plastic skid plate.
Skid plate,
We'll
yeah.
make aluminium skid plate to go up and underneath it. So we just basically, we put the bike on a diet.
Yeah.
We make it thinner, we make it more
Lighter,
and we make it better looking. Again, we think it's better looking.
Yeah. Yeah, of course it is. For a Portuguese coming from Portugal to the other side of the world to have his motorbike changed, it must
he lives here.
He lives here?
Yeah,
okay. I thought he lives there. But you are quite known in Portugal, and I believe you don't have any store in Portugal. I think
We
you
have a little shop in Lisbon. A friend of mine sent me I'll show you later, it's on my phone, a picture of the store in Lisbon. The bikes that we get in Indonesia are interesting because everything's imported, and Indonesia being a country of 270 something million people, and a lot of them don't make a lot of money, the rich are taxed. So you'll notice that most of our bikes are small, CC. Like this one here was made in Indonesia, the original bike. These are the same bike, but this was imported, and I can tell by a different casing here. But they're both a Scorpio 225. This is a 150 KLX. We've got a Honda Bison 150. We've got another CRF 250. This is actually a DR 650, but we only use that for off-road. Then we've got another Bison 150, a Tiger 200, this is a TW. It was actually imported from Japan. It came with a long swing arm, but we actually put even a longer swing arm on it.
Oh yes.
Another Scorpio 225 Yamaha, another KLX 150, and the last one is another KLX 250. So it's a bit of a a bit of a mixture of
When a customer came here with his bike, he told you what you want, or you just strip it down?
No, it's got to be a conversation.
Yes, yeah.
You can't give someone and say you have to have this.
Of course.
It doesn't work.
Of course.
It's to his riding style, it's to his own style, colour preferences. Everything is a conversation about what he wants and then our recommendations of how we're going to achieve it. And being in Bali, we don't only make motorcycles, we also make surfboards. So in here we're glassing
surfboards.
Yeah.
But I don't know quite well your story, but I was told that surfboards, it was the beginning, I think.
No. It's actually motorcycles.
Motorcycles.
So the company itself started in Sydney in 2005, 2006, and they were making. It was never about one specific thing. It just happened that they were doing some great things with customized motorcycles because the founders had been in Japan and they'd seen that real brat style of motorcycles in Japan at that time, and they came back and said, "Wow, that's really cool." The brand has never been specifically about one thing, and it changes whenever you move it somewhere else. It takes on a different identity. So if you take it to Milan, it's got bicycles involved in it because they ride bicycles a lot. If you take it to California, which we've done, there's a skate element involved in it. So it's one of the things that we say is any god, any machine.
I was to ask you because Deus, it's a Romanic word, but it's the Portuguese word for God.
Yes, and we're having a devil of a time trying to register the name in South America. On Sundays we have bands, green room for the band. So they sit in there in the aircon, and then they go up here, and that's the stage up there. We transform the backyard as we need to as well. We love our art. One of the great things about Deus is that we have our own art gallery. This is an exhibition by two guys from New York City called the Young Jerks. Next year, in February, we will release a range of clothes with "This Must Be the Place." Above the door, this Trans-La-Bus, we have another version of it where instead of Trans-La-Bus in the swirl, it has Deus Ex Machina.
Yeah.
And we have a t-shirt, "No Devils in This House, Satan is Rude," coming out next year as well. So very much, it's one of those beautiful art meets fashion mixtures that we love to do. The big thing about Deus is we are an apparel brand and we make clothing. So we make clothing both here in Indonesia and we make clothing both overseas as well. So a lot of the stuff like these are all imported, but a lot of the t-shirts you see we produce locally again to get around the taxes, the prohibitive taxes.
Helmets.
We're making helmets. These are our first range of helmets that we've made. We call them the nutshells. A nutshell in Australian slang is your head. They are actually E11, which is Italy, I think. So they are road legal in Europe,
yeah,
and America.
in America.
It's, before we were the reason people came to Canggu, and now Canggu is an entity unto itself. The skateboard deck is by a guy called Paul McNeil, and Paul is an Australian artist, so we did a collection with him. So we're always looking to work with artists and things about bringing something a bit more interesting. This guy was, he's a Japanese artist who works with us. We just had an event here called Slidetoberfest. This was done by the Young Jerks again. That was the event tee for that. Some more stuff out of Japan.
We got sakes.
We now we've got stores in Japan, and we just opened in Amsterdam. We have one in Ibiza. We've got one in Biarritz. We just opened a store. I think it's got a little cafe next to it in Zurich. So they're starting to pop up all over the place. We've always had a very photographic background here because of our original local director was an American guy called Dustin Humphrey, and he being a photographer always had a great troupe of photographers on hand and taught them, and obviously we had these great surfers. So these are some of the photographs from some of the photographers that have been through here. I'm looking specifically at Harry Mark and I think Anthony Dodds, and the other one would be Tom Hawkins. That's a Tom, I think. But yeah, we so previous, or so past, I should say, past photographers, we still celebrate their work, and they actually sell their work through our store.
So Anthony, thank you very much for your wasting your time.
It's not a waste of my time.
And
you know, I do this two times a week. Yeah, I'm no better. I'm still bad at it. But yeah, and it's all there available, and it's open to people, and we welcome people to come in and have a look, and that's the great thing, is when people come in, like yourself, come in and ask and say, well, hey, I'm curious.
yeah.
We like curiosity. We're curious people ourselves, so it's fantastic to get people to visit.
Assim acabou a visita guiada às instalações da Deus Ex Machina, onde pudemos ver o que é que eles têm para oferecer. E nesta parte final, em off, estive a falar com o Anthony e a falar em relação a Portugal. Eles têm uma loja, ele não sabe muito bem onde, mostrou uma fotografia ali para os lados, tem a ponte 25 de Abril por trás, penso que é para os lados de Alcântara, e onde vendem algum merchandising como t-shirts e esse tipo de coisas. Em relação às motas, na Europa, fazer a customização de motas é muito difícil devido às regras. Portanto, eles vendem para a Europa, mas não legalizam as motas. As pessoas têm que legalizar as motas. Então vá, tchau, até à próxima.